with the briefing center, is it more than 6 years?
I think almost 6.5.
Almost six and a half years. And she is just a dynamo. I just enjoy working with Linda. And I just want to say about Kelly LaCrosse, she's one of my mentors for women in technology. So you're talking about someone that really knows the customer. She makes it a point to really know the customer. So that's really been good for me to know Kelly and to also to be able to use her as a mentor and ask her questions about my present role. Again, my name is Sybille Gray. I've been with Cisco for 10 years. And prior to Cisco, I actually worked at a company called, let's see, Picture Tel, Polycom. Has anyone ever heard of either of those?
Oh, yeah.
Polycom.
Okay. And have you heard of video conferencing? Okay. What is video conferencing? Two-way video.
Yeah,
And
like what we did
correct?
before.
And so I was doing that prior to coming to Cisco. And education, when we look back at even where I'm from, do I sound like I'm from New England?
No.
You can't really tell, can you? Okay, I was born in Savannah, Georgia, and my dad actually taught at a college there, Savannah State University. And then my dad moved us to Virginia, Petersburg, Virginia, and I really grew up there, and I ended up going to school and college there at Virginia State University. So I got my bachelor's there. Later on, I know I only have a few minutes, I got married, moved up north, so I've been here quite a few years now, and I was actually working for the government in Hanscom Air Force Base. And what I did was actually had started working on my master's, but I didn't finish the first one. And that one was actually in audiovisual administration. So when I came north, they were actually building out a video conferencing system at Hanscom Air Force Base. So I got the job there, and one of the things that was interesting, I asked the manager, I said, so how often can I call you? He said, you can call me every day. So what do you think I did? Called him every day, right? I got that position. And later on, I was networking with some young ladies, and this one lady talked to me about this company called Picture Tel, now Polycom. And I said, so what do they do? Video conferencing. I said, I'm doing that with the government. I would like an opportunity to now work in the private sector. So it was government, now private sector. So I went to this company, Picture Tel, and I was really excited about that. And I don't know if many of you have heard of or have seen the show The Jetsons. Do you remember them talking back and forth?
The maid.
Well, when I learned about the history at Picture Tel, it was actually from MIT. There was a manager, actually it was an instructor, and the graduate students, they got together, and actually by seeing The Jetsons, they said, we can do this. Now, how many of you, think about this, go to the movies and you see something very futuristic, and how many of you say, wow, that's cool? Do you say that? Well, you have other people that say, we can do that. So one of the things that I would like to say to you is to always think out of the box. So maybe, especially women in technology, now when you're going to the movies, we know that you all are all over top of these collaboration technologies. Maybe when you go to the movies, you will come back now, pick one of your girlfriends and say, maybe this is a project that we can do, and come up with something for the United States of America, for the world. I'm serious, that's what people are doing today. So that's how video conferencing got started at Picture Tel. So there, I actually managed the briefing center, I did the demonstrations there as well. In addition to that, I became an event marketing manager. I managed a lot there, so we talked about demonstrations, briefings, and event marketing. And then I decided that I wanted to make a move, and I heard about this wonderful company called Cisco. And I said, you know what I'd like to do? I'd like to be a product marketing manager. But what happened was, when I actually came to Cisco, they knew that I had a lot of experience with the briefing center, so they actually brought me in to help build out the briefing center. That was fine. I got my foot in the door here at Cisco, but I'm really interested in the technology, so the other thing that I really wanted to do was to become a product marketing manager. And I did that. I did that for a year and a half, and then they started building out another briefing center And who did they recommend? Sybille. Okay, so I started the new briefing center, and I was very excited about that. I've been here for 10 years. 4.5 years in, I decided, okay, I actually had a mentor. How many of you have mentors? Oh, very good. So my mentor was giving me guidance about my career, and I was telling her I really wanted to get my MBA. So she said, Sybille, why don't you do a dual degree? Okay? So that means an MBA and JD. You know what JD is? Okay? Juris, right? Okay. So I said, okay, that really sounded good. But I'm going to be doing this part-time. So I actually ended up going to Suffolk University, and I got my MBA there, and I ended up getting a business law concentration, okay, and in addition to my MBA. And the reason I did that was because when I talked to the dean of the law school, she said, now you're going to do a dual degree, and you're going to do that part-time? She said, Sybille, if you miss anything, you can't catch up. She said, you can't afford to fall behind. So I said, maybe I'll think about going to law school later and just doing the business law concentration. So I got my MBA, 4.5 years part-time, and last year when I finished, it was December 2009, I said, okay, now I want to look at Cisco for a strategic position. I really wanted to be an executive position. That's where I want to be. And then Cisco grows through innovation. And this innovation is through acquisitions. It's also through, we actually put $5.2 billion annually in research and development. And we also have an ecosystem of great partners. So all of this is happening here. So I'm really excited about that. And then Cisco acquires this company called Tandberg. Have you ever heard of Tandberg?
We just did in the last.
We just did.
We just did.
Okay, very good.
And now
Okay,
Cisco
so I
got
said,
it.
video conferencing. Yes, that's my sweet spot. So I said, maybe I can do a strategic position there. So what happened was I actually saw one of the gentlemen from Tandberg, and he's a telepresence and video sales specialist, passionate, sharp gentleman, and he was doing what I wanted to do. So I pointed him out, and I went to him and I said, what I'd like to do is job shadow. How many of you have ever done job shadowing, even if with your parents, it could be anywhere? You should do that, because that way you get to find out what you really want to do. So I did job shadowing with this gentleman called Sean. His name is Sean Spires. He's an outstanding presenter in sales. He's also good with working with the customer. So anyway, to make a long story short, I ended up joining the Tandberg sales force, and that was back in January. I had an opportunity to go to New York and actually get some formal training there for a week, and I thought that was like the icing on the cake. So I'm ready now to hit the ground running, and that is my story. Much success.